Hey, welcome to Binge Bar. Today we're going to be talking about some of the trade rumors that have been speculating as of lately. Now, a lot of this has to do with if the player's a restricted free agent, an unrestricted free agent, or if the team's looking like a playoff contender this time in February. So the first player I want to talk about is Michael Furland, who's currently playing on the first line in the first power play unit for the Carolina Hurricanes. They just acquired him from the Calgary Flames this past offseason, and they're already looking to shop him. So far, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Vancouver are all interested in him, but they're going to probably expect a lot in return for this guy. The Bruins have actually been looking to fill that second line winger spot these past 2 seasons. Last year they were able to fill that void with Rick Nash of the New York Rangers, but as of last week, Rick Nash actually retired, if you haven't heard that yet. This whole transaction would probably take a first-round pick, a top prospect, or a top 6 forward from the Bruins in the end. At the end of the season, Furland's going to be a UFA, and rumors are saying that he's going to be asking for a little over $5 million, which isn't cheap, but it could be a lot worse. Next, we have the dumpster fire organization, the Ottawa Senators, and coming this offseason, they have a couple big names to re-sign. Some of these names include Stone and Duchesne. What's going to happen? I don't know. On a more serious note, though, the Senators are focusing more of their attention on re-signing Stone. This is because Stone has stated in the past that he really wants to stay in Ottawa. He loves the organization and has no plans on leaving anytime soon. They only signed him to a 1-year contract the previous year, though, so this could be a big year for him, and this could be a big contract that the Senators are going to be taking on. And this is unlike Duchesne, who's made it clear in the past that he wants out of Ottawa. You remember the Uber video from a couple months ago, who could forget that? But this is where the New York Islanders are going to be coming into play. Lou Lamoriello is in the house here in New York, and Barry Trotz has turned this team into a playoff contender, so expect him to be very active come this time in February. Josh Osang is done. His attitude has caused such a rift between him and management these past 2-3 years now in New York that he's number 1 on their trading block. Having Hosang in Ottawa could be huge for them. They've been looking to have a team based off of the youth core for so long now, and this could improve their power play along with many other things. And the Islanders have been shopping Duchesne since he's been on the Avalanche. These past couple years, there's been so many rumors surfacing about Duchesne going to the Islanders, it's mind-boggling. So if this could happen, obviously it's going to take a lot more than just Josh Hosang to get Duchesne, but it's probably going to take a couple picks. Expect Al Cole to be in there. Eberle's also going to be an upcoming free agent, so who knows what's going to happen. But I can definitely see Duchesne coming to New York and Hosang going out to Ottawa. With all that being said, you got to take in consideration that this time come the trade deadline, if New York is still looking like a playoff contender, they're not going to be trading Jordan Eberle. So on another side note, there's been so many other names been tossed around these past couple weeks. You have Brassard from Pittsburgh that they've been shopping. You have Zuccarello from the Rangers along with Hayes. Simmons from the Flyers, every day I've been hearing something new about him. And Edmonton's been looking to shop Spooner. They just got him from Strome, but Spooner's not really doing anything up there, so they already have him listed. Something that's just complete speculation, it's not a rumor, it's just something that I've been thinking about. Brassard is from the Rangers, and even though he's currently a center for the Penguins, they have stated that they are shopping him, and they've always been interested in Zuccarello. So it wouldn't surprise me necessarily if Brassard went to the Rangers, because that could really help them in the rebuild, and having some of that chemistry brought back could be huge for them. And the Penguins right now looking like a playoff contender, even though they started off the season a little shaky, they've completely turned it around. I'm pretty sure they're tied for 3rd in the Metro right now. Having Zuccarello on the first line or second line or even third line as a winger, that could just help everything and transform the team into really looking like they can maybe have another cup run. Something I am personally very happy about, and being very blunt with this, Columbus is going to suck so bad next year. They're going to lose Bobrovsky. Allegedly, they're going to lose Bobrovsky because he was suspended the other day for some issue he had between him and Tortorella, which Tortorella is such a nut, it doesn't even surprise me. I personally think Tortorella is a cool guy, but that's just on a completely different note. But Artemi Panarin, that's their team. Artemi Panarin and Bobrovsky, that's everything. It's their top goal scorer and one of the best goalies in the league. In my opinion, next to Vasilevsky, he's the best goalie. And so many other people feel the same way. And just look at the stats don't lie. But Panarin has stated he wants to come to New York, and as much as I would love him coming to the Islanders, there's no way in hell that's happening. We have Barry Trotz and Lou Lamoriello. We're doing great, but that's not happening. Panarin wants to come to New York, and he wants to play on a Russian team, and that could be the Rangers right now, because if he wants to come to New York, I don't think the Islanders have any Russian players, at least on the current roster. They might have somebody in the minors that I don't know about, but we'll see what's going to happen. But regardless, Columbus is going to be losing Panarin and Bobrovsky. You heard it here first. I'm more than positive about that, and if you really look into it, Columbus is not looking good right now. They're doing good in the standings, but as it comes next year, I don't think this free agency is going to be kind to them. But why would they want to lose these guys in free agency for nothing? Speaking of the Islanders, they just went through this with Tavares, and they're not going to go through it again this year. That's why in Columbus, I can definitely see them getting rid of these guys by the deadline, so they don't lose two of the biggest names in hockey for nothing. One thing people aren't even talking about, unless you live on Long Island, is Lou Lamoriello has said that this offseason, with the amount of cap space we have, he's using it all to go after Sergei Bobrovsky. So don't be surprised if he comes to New York this offseason. If St. Louis decides to be sellers come this time in February at the trade deadline, they could be the biggest impact there. Tarasenko, Pietrangelo, Shen, and Maroon are all names I've been hearing lately, and each one of these players are able to get a lot back in return for St. Louis. And St. Louis is looking to go and rebuild, but they haven't necessarily announced it yet, but we all know what's going to happen. But we don't really know where these players are going to go, because there's no way they're going to trade Tarasenko and Pietrangelo. Personally, I think Tarasenko would be the guy that would go first, Pietrangelo being their captain and fan favorite, but we'll see what happens. What makes this so possible for Brady Shen being shipped out is the Bruins and the Sharks could really use another strong scoring center, and I don't see a better trade than acquiring Brady Shen. Pietrangelo can go anywhere, with that being said. He's their captain and they're going to want a lot back for him, but he's a defender. And their defense is okay as it is, Pietrangelo obviously being the best there, but Toronto, Pittsburgh, both teams in New York, and Vegas and Dallas, they're all contenders here when it comes to who's going to get Pietrangelo. And again, that's being said that if they even decide to trade Pietrangelo this time. Personally, I wouldn't trade Pietrangelo or Tarasenko. Ship out Shen, ship out Maroon, maybe try to get a few picks back, and I think they're fine. St. Louis's biggest problem right now is their goalie. I love Jake Allen, but I don't know, he's not the same guy he was a couple seasons ago. Oh yeah, we're going to begin to wrap it up about now, but if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Edmonton and Chiarelli and his list of disastrous trades and potential disastrous trades he can make this year. So until then, we'll see you next time.